Hi, I'm Mike, Head of Customer Success at Waydev, and I'd like to tell you more about how we solve different use cases for engineering leaders. First of all, we've got the activity section. In the activity section, we help you get more visibility into how engineering teams work. Then we've got the delivery section. Delivery helps you understand how effective do teams deliver software. And then we've got the throughput. So in the throughput section, you can understand what is the performance and measure the progress of your teams. In the activity section, we've got the work log, which helps you get a holistic picture over what's happening inside your engineering teams. You can see their contributions to the code base, to pull request reviews, and also tickets. So you can get a good picture over what's happening inside your team. Now, what you can actually do is you can drill down more and see a more detailed report about any of those activities. And you can also see a flow diagram to help you understand how does work track back from the commits up to the PR and then up to the ticket to help you get a bit more traceability of your team's work. The review workflow section helps you get more visibility into your team's pull requests. You can see a map of your team's PRs. And what we try to highlight right there are long-running PRs, right? Those PRs that have been running for a long period of time, 7, 10 days or more. Those are the ones that tend to get stale, tend to queue up in a pile for developers. They need to switch context a lot. And in the end, they lose a bit of focus and the team loses velocity. But also pull requests with a lot of friction inside them. Lots of back and forth discussions, lots of follow-on commits. Those are the ones that tend to cause more issues in the development process. So we like to surface them to engineering leaders so that they can drive a conversation with their team members and help them see, is there anything that you need from my side? Is there anything that I can help you with to get work forward? The review collaboration section helps you understand how do teams work collaboratively. You can understand the dynamics of the team, how fast do submitters incorporate feedback from reviewers, how fast do reviewers provide feedback in the code review process, what's the engagement in your team's code review process, and what's the thoroughness of it. You can also understand how do team members split reviews, meaning who's reviewing whose PRs are being reviewed by whom, to help you understand whether you've got enough reviewers on the team to handle PR submissions, whether there are any knowledge silos in your team or dependencies across teams. The sprint report helps you understand what's happening in your team's sprints and how are they progressing. You can see a list of your issues of the tickets inside the sprint, who's assigned to any of those tickets, what's the amplitude of the changes inside that ticket, also the associated pull requests, and an activity log. Now, what we also do is we highlight potential ticket risks. So whenever a pull request gets merged without review, whenever we detect a high-risk change on a pull request, we surface that ticket risk to you so you can drive a conversation with those contributors and see if that's expected or not. The daily update report helps you understand and track the evolution of your team's velocity sprint over sprint. So you can understand how fast are we moving compared to the previous sprint. You can also understand where the work focus went yesterday and what are the dynamics week over week. The activity report helps you achieve and make sure that you have a continuous delivery process inside your teams. You can understand if each of your team members is actively involved in your team's development process. The activity heat map report helps you understand when do team members focus most throughout the day. You can understand your team's commit patterns and what is the hour, what is the day when they are most focused, so you can schedule meetings according to their focus time. In the delivery section, we've got the cycle time report. The cycle time report helps you understand what is the velocity of your team's development process and how fast can teams deliver value to the business and to your customers. The cycle time measures the moment the first commit was created up until the point it got deployed through 4 stages of the development process. The first one is coding, which helps you understand the moment the first commit was created up until the point the PR was issued. Then there's the pickup stage. Pickup helps you understand how fast does code get picked up for review. Then there's the review section. In the review section, we help you understand how fast can a PR get merged from the moment the first review was provided. And lastly, there's the deploy stage. The deploy stage helps you understand how fast can a pull request be deployed from the moment it was merged. What we did, we also aggregated industry benchmarks to help you understand how do you stack up against the industry. Are you falling in the high performance section? Does anything need improvement in your code review process? So basically giving you out a starting point to help you optimize your team's development process. The DORA metrics report is designed to help you understand what is the velocity and the effectiveness of your team's delivery process. DORA metrics is a set of metrics which has been developed by a team at Google, and they are designed to help you measure software delivery performance. There are 4 metrics. The first one is deployment frequency, which means how often do teams deploy changes. Then there's the change failure rate. Change failure rate helps you understand how often do deployments break or they get canceled. Then there's the mean time to restore. Mean time to restore helps you understand how fast can teams recover from a failed deployment and ensure a successful one instead. And lastly, there's lead time. Lead time helps you understand how fast does code committed get deployed. What you can also do is you got trendline reports, so you can actually look out for spikes or drops in certain metrics, and you can even do a root cause analysis, where you can actually dive deeper into a deployments table to help you understand, okay, maybe we got a spike in the change failure rate, and we want to drill down and see whether we've got a specific repository that tends to fail deployments all over again. The project timeline report helps you gain a retrospective over your team's activities. You can understand your team's work focus, volume, and how do they trend over time. You can see how do teams focus on different areas of their work and direct your decisions accordingly. The pull request resolution report helps you identify outliers and bottlenecks in your team's code review process. You can understand how do pull requests get closed, what are the dynamics of your team's code review process, and you can also identify potential outliers that may be happening in your team's code review process, such as PRs that are taking too long to get resolved, pull requests with a lot of back and forth discussions happening inside them, as well as pull requests that require a lot of follow-on commits before they actually get resolved. The team summary report helps you understand how does your team contribute to the code base, to the code review process. You can get your team's metrics in a centralized way so you can understand where your team focus is. And you can also zoom in and see how do individuals perform, what are their contributions to the code base, to the code review process, to pull requests. So you can use and leverage this data in performance reviews and also one-to-ones. The velocity report helps you understand your team's contributions and velocity in all your previous sprints. You can look into previous sprints and understand how many tickets did we define, how many tickets did we complete, as well as how many story points that we define and complete, to give you a good idea of how many are we going to deliver in future sprints. In the throughput section, we've got the team progress report. The team progress report helps you understand how does the team progress compare to the previous week. How did we do compared to the previous sprint? and how did we perform compared to the previous month or quarter. So you can use this report as a side-by-side comparison to help you understand whether we are improving and whether there are any specific areas that need improvement. In the team performance section, you can understand how do teams contribute to the code review process and also to code-based metrics. What you can do is you can actually zoom into each of those metrics, see trendline reports, so you can look out for spikes or drops in certain metrics. You can also click through specific metrics like open PRs to help you understand like what are the open PRs that we have in progress right now. You can also zoom in and see individual metrics and how do team members contribute to the code review process, to the coding section. And as well, you can use this report to correlate the effort invested into each repository. How our customers use them is that they also use the export functionality. You can export data to Excel so you can play around with the data internally and create potential internal dashboards. The resource planning report helps you understand how do you allocate team resources. It works by pulling in data from your issue tracking system and correlating it to salary data to help you understand the associated costs for each of the work types and the tickets that your team is working on. You can see how much you are allocating towards roadmap work, right, planned work. You can also see how much your team is allocating toward bugs, infrastructure work, and then you can also understand the impact of unplanned work into your team's day-to-day activities. The project cost report helps you understand the progress for each of the features that your team is building. Apart from that, you can also see what is the associated cost for each of the features, as well as a cost across the project and also a progress across the project. Now, this report is also working by pulling in data from your issue tracking system and salary data. Waydev is also really flexible and it allows you to build custom reports. You can build out your own custom report based on all the metrics that you may have in mind to help you answer to maybe more complex questions that you have and to deliver to each of the company's needs.